We are live. Live. We used to have to go far to do this. Yeah, now you are there. I'm here. Now we are talking.
Yep.
You know. Let me switch my account. Okay. Then let me spread the word that we are live. That's okay. Let me share this first. Yeah. What take long is the sharing the link. Because you need to share the link, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, hold on, there's someone asking for a link. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's start. Good evening. Yes, good evening for those who are watching and join us on Kultur Parenting. Tonight we are going to do something different. I am not with Yanti. Tonight I'm with Joel. We are going to talk about something that we love. We are going to talk about parenting. As always, culture parenting is about discussing parenting with parents and to accompany them to find their own style of parenting, right, Joel?
Yes, definitely.
So Joel and I are actually going way back, and we did this before, but we did this using, I think it's YouTube also, right? But that time
Yeah.
we had to go to a restaurant or something, right?
Yeah.
and just like teenager, we are just sitting there and then making our video, talking about parenting and stuff. Tell
With
us about
coffee.
that. Pardon?
Yeah. With coffee in our hands.
Exactly, exactly. Coffee or
Right
food,
now it's virtual
definitely
coffee.
something. With now you have a virtual coffee. Good
Yeah.
evening. So they are still chatting with me in Bahasa. So
Not a problem. Yeah.
mhm. So Tell us, how have you been doing, Joel? It's been
Well,
ages that I don't see you.
yeah, I know. It's like, we are so close and yet so far because of this pandemic.
Yeah, true, true, true.
We used to see each other, well, almost every couple of weeks, right? And then go
Mm-hmm,
for coffee at least, or for
mm-hmm.
lunch or dinner. But it's just that right now with the pandemic, the weird thing is that both you and I, like a lot of people have been having problems with like work and bored or something like that. There's nothing boring about our lives at all. So it's like,
Exactly.
you are like constantly online, educating people, educating parents, and then having seminars and whatnot. And then I am constantly with my students, teaching, and then having lessons and this and that. So it's like, honestly, with the with this working from home kind of thing, minus all the traveling and everything, I think it's like it's becoming very productive for me, at
Mm-hmm,
least.
mm-hmm,
Yeah. And
mm-hmm.
I can see it's also for you. Like, basically you are like online almost like every next hour. So it's like I'm pretty sure before, if you have to actually have a meeting from one place to another place, you got to drive
Exactly,
1.5 hours, two
exactly,
hours, and
exactly,
yeah, so that's like a waste of our time. But right now it's just
mhm,
a click of a button, so it's like click
exactly.
of a button
It's
and
like,
you can just go to the next
I mean,
meeting.
like 5 minutes switch to another meeting, 5 minutes switch to another
I
meeting.
know. I know. Well, for me it's pretty productive so far, and I can see that you're also very productive. So that's actually positive, very positive. Yeah. Okay.
Well, actually, since we cannot do anything right now, we cannot go out, there's nothing to do. So I think it's the best thing is to share what we already have, the knowledge that we have, the experiences that we have. We need to we need to share it with people. The more people that we reach, I think the better it's going to be. And especially now, right, the situation is very difficult for everybody, for parents, for children, for teachers, for everybody. you know they're having problem adjusting with this learning from home method, and also the stress on the children. So I think it's better for us to share what we do know on how to handle our children at home, because we are homeschool mothers, and for
Yeah.
us, having children at home is our daily life, you know is our daily life. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm doing those things, just make myself useful, you know
For
and
sure. Yeah.
for you who are having hesitating in asking question in English, you may type it in Bahasa, and we will still respond you in English, because tonight we will not speak in Bahasa. I'm sorry. And we try to go live also on Instagram, but due to technical problem, we are not yet able to go live on Instagram also. So tonight, Joel, what are we going to
Yeah.
discuss about?
Okay, so the topic that I have thought about is something quite dear to my heart. It's actually about cyberbullying.
Mm,
Yeah, the reason why I think I would like to talk about this, because a lot of parents do not realize that this is actually something that their kids are experiencing in their lives, that
mm.
they don't bring it up to their parents, or they don't talk about it with their parents
I don't
because
think,
of, yeah.
yeah, but I think, yeah, bullying in
Mhm.
general, it is not
Mhm.
something that children talk to their parents, because
That's
they're
right.
too scared, they're too scared to their parents to talk about the bullying. They scared that the parent might make it worse, not make it better. That's
It's
what I
true.
heard
Yeah.
when I went to one school and taught the children about bullying, trying to
Hmm.
tell them that it's not good to bully people. Almost
Hmm.
all of them has been bullied at least one time in their life. And
Yeah.
almost all of them are too scared to talk to their parents about it, and that is very sad, that is
Mm-hmm.
very sad,
Mm-hmm.
because parents is like the first layer of protection for the children. I
Mm.
think so, right? It's supposed to
Yeah,
be like that,
for
right?
sure. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
that the children have to. It's not that they want to, but they have
Mm-hmm.
to. There's no other option, right? They have to go online most of the time, uh,
Mm.
uh, and with the teachers right now is putting everything online, and put the children like 8 hours or 7 hours, five to 8 hours in front of the computer online. You know, the risk of the cyberbullying is even higher.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So before, I think there are some parents who wouldn't allow their kids to be
Mm-hmm,
on social media, or like,
mm-hmm,
having too much screen time, holding
mm-hmm,
onto handphones or whatnot. But right now, the current situation with like
mm-hmm,
studying from home, and
mm-hmm,
then they got to be, learning from the computers, or like from online
mm-hmm.
schooling or whatnot, then apparently like kids who have not been exposed to anything online would be exposed to something online, right?
Exactly,
And
exactly.
obviously with the current generation, it's like it's what they know and what they do and what they're engaged in is much more than what we could actually keep up with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
At my generation, like basically a lot of my friends are just playing Facebook and Instagram, but there's something called a TikTok right now, and then there's like
Yes,
before that, like Snapchat was big, right? And then right
yes,
now Snapchat not there anymore. And then Musically was used to be big. Right now it's actually TikTok, right? And then so it's like there's so many different platforms that the kids are engaging themselves into that we are not knowing about. Like, well, honestly, for me, like I don't play those things. Like I don't have time for those things. And but thank God, like I know all those things from my kids and also from my students who tell me that there is such a thing. Then I said, oh, okay, so what do you do? And then they would say, oh, I'll just, hold on to the handphone and try to lip sync or blah, blah, blah. And then sometimes you dance, according to what they ask you or whatnot. So
mm,
it's like, yeah. So it's like they're kind of fun and their kind of enjoyment online is very different from what I
totally
used to
different.
do and how I
Mm-hmm,
understood it to be,
mm-hmm,
So it's
mm-hmm,
like, obviously, with them putting themselves online within so many platforms, they
mm-hmm,
are opening up themselves for people to watch them, for people to judge them, for people to actually give comments to them, isn't it? Right?
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
yeah, so before, like during our time, like during my time, like if I don't expose myself to something, like I don't go out, I don't post my pictures on something or whatnot, and then people won't know, right? But
Mm-hmm.
right now it's like everything is upfront, and basically people are sharing every small details about their lives, that they actually become very transparent.
Mm-hmm.
Little things that, for example, just like the things that you eat. How many of us actually take pictures before we eat our food? It's like when
Instead
the
of
food comes,
praying.
oh yeah, so don't eat it first. I'm gonna just take picture. I'm gonna just do I'll put it on Instagram, or like who
Uh,
cares about what you eat? But that's what we do, right? Yeah.
mhm.
So things like that are things that people do nowadays, not realizing that they are opening up their lives so much to
Too
people
much.
that it becomes
Exactly.
very transparent. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. And
so, so same thing for
mm,
adults. I think we do know of a certain limit that we could actually stop at or
uh,
something like that.
I
But
doubt that.
kids,
I doubt that. But
well, I understand like certain adults are doing a little bit too much as well, but
mm,
these are teenagers that we're talking about. These are kids that we're talking about, that often enough they need to be told of a certain limit that they should put themselves at, or they'll be jeopardizing their own lives to a lot of the things that they do not wish that could happen, which is one of them is cyberbullying. Yeah.
Yeah, like Fitri said, Instagram culture. Yes, Instagram
Oh
also.
yeah, for
Everything is
sure.
online now. Well, actually, more dangerous, I think the risk is fall more to the children that before this period was not allowed to go online too much.
Mm,
Those who are not used to, who's not used to go online to expose themselves to internet. The
mm,
specific topic tonight is about cyberbullying, Fitri.
mm,
So we are going to talk
mm.
about cyberbullying. Yeah. Fitri is Yanti's daughter.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, if you could make me a co-host, then I could share some of the contents that I
Oh, okay,
have
okay. Sorry.
later on. Yeah. Okay, but not now. Okay. We'll just continue on. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
So yeah, like I said, today's topic is on cyberbullying. So I'm just going to put a picture on there. It's in Bahasa, but I think like if we have listeners or like participants that could read Bahasa, this will be great. And then I know that you are amazing in translating them in English. So go ahead. Yeah. Uh-huh.
okay, let me see. Oh, bullying. Oh, this is the effect of bullying, right?
Yeah, yeah. This is the
Uh,
effect of bullying. And I will talk about different types of cyberbullying later on after this, because we
mm,
have like you said, Fitri is trying to understand what we're talking about. So we're talking
mm.
about, this will be the effect of bullying that
And this also something that parents should notice, right? Uh,
yeah,
yeah, should
yes.
notice when your children suddenly having this kind of characteristic, then you need to approach the children appropriately. Yeah, because some parent then going too far in approaching the children. Well, the first is uh, that see the children will not feel like they belong to the society. you
Mm-hmm.
know they feel like they
Yeah.
are not connected with the society, and
Mm-hmm.
they feel we will be worried all the time when they meet the bullier or someone who hurt them physically or
Mm-hmm.
or mentally. Okay,
Yeah.
abuse them.
Yeah.
Okay. The stress and depression will go to another level
Mm-hmm.
connected to the mental situation of the
Mm-hmm.
children, and
Mm.
the children will feel very low esteem, and
Yeah.
the child will feel worthless,
Yeah.
you know and she will always feel depressed when she remembered what the bullier did, and then she will have difficulties in mingle with her friends or her colleague. The child will go on one side and be alone.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is what really serious, the effect of bullying. Some children will think of ending their own life
Yeah.
because
Which is
of
what
what.
we are going to be talking about 3 weeks from now. Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm,
2 weeks
mhm.
from
Yeah, that they will want to end their life because of their self-worth, a very low self-esteem. They feel like they are not belong here, they are not worthy, they are not good enough for the world, so they want to end the humiliation, the feeling of outcasts, so they want to end it.
Mhm.
And that is
Yeah.
the worst impact of bullying. There you go.
Yeah. Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah. So I think one of the reason why I'm interested in talking about this is that just about 3 years ago, when Kayla, my second daughter, was in grade
Mm,
10,
mm,
um, um, there was once when I actually received an email from her school. Okay, this was
okay.
an email sent by the principal. Actually, it was. I forgot whether it was from a principal or whether it was from the superintendent of the educational department. I forgot,
Hold
but it
on,
was like a
hold
big.
on. So now,
Yeah.
by that time, your daughter is already in Canada, right? Not here.
Oh yeah, She was in Canada in grade 10. Yeah.
Mm.
So it was like I was surprised that I received an email that sounded like this. It was like, dear parents, like it would be advisable for you guys, well, for all of you to know that there was a show on TV that your children might be exposed to or might be watching that you might not know about. And this show is talking about, about cyberbullying, about teen suicide and everything like that. So it's like, I was thinking, it's like, whoa, this must be a big thing, right? How come they like the principal or like superintendent of the educational department would actually send out an email blasting to all parents for
Mhm.
us to know about this? And
Mm.
then apparently when I read the title of the show, it's like I wasn't surprised because my kids were already talking about that. Okay. And for
Oh.
those of you that well, the title of the show is 13 Reasons Why. Okay. So a lot of parents that are on Netflix, you might actually have seen this before, but definitely this is not the kind of show that you might want to watch because like it's like a teenage show. You might just skip it through and you would want to watch something which is like more of our level or what of our
Mm.
own enjoyment. But I would totally encourage you to at least take a look at the reviews or something like that, because this
Mm.
show is really popular among teenagers, not only in the States, in Canada, not only in the Western world, but apparently in Asia it is also big because it is one of the most talked about show. And
Really?
yeah, it's one of the most, well, obviously it's not for our age, it's all about
Mm.
teenagers and so on and so forth.
Mm. Mm.
So to cut the long story short, when I received that email, so I started talking to my two daughters about that, and I started asking them a question about what is this show about. They did tell me that this is actually popular, but it's like very disturbing. And I said, okay, but I trust my daughters have pretty good judgment about things that they should watch and they shouldn't, even if it is like something quite disturbing. They would actually talk it with me and then discuss it with me. So it's like but I did turn on it because I thought, oh, this is just a teenage show, this is not my kind of forte. But when we started talking about it, then it got me curious. Then I actually started watching it, and then I realized
Mm.
that it is actually much more than what than just a show, but it's actually the much deeper than that, because it's talking about a girl that had been bullied so much in her school, not only through her friends and whatnot, harassment through friends, but also through cyberbullying as well, that she actually decided to take her life. Okay. And then after she took her life, before she took her life, she actually recorded 13 tapes. And on that 13 tape, those 13 tapes were like stories of individual people that have hurt her so much that had made her wanting to die, so it's like 13 reasons why she took her life, kind of thing. Okay. So
Mm.
it's like each episode is talking about a different kind of harassment or like bullying that she was exposed to.
Mm.
And well, the ending was like she ended up dying, right? And it became
Uh-huh.
like a big thing, and it was like really disturbing because like not only that we see that that is like the real thing that the kids are right now exposed to and experiencing. And it actually opened up my eyes because I'm a teacher. So it's like I talk to most of my students are teenagers. I rarely teach younger students. I teach teenagers most of the time. And I happen to be quite open with them, and they're also open with me. And I sometimes would listen to stories told by them that the things that they are experiencing in their lives that they wouldn't tell their parents
Mm.
because of certain reasons and whatnot. So I think like this session is also important because you and I are both educators, we are teachers,
Mm.
and we also are exposed to a lot of teenagers, and there will be times that they would actually come to an adult as a teacher, a trusted adult, and talk about their problems and whatnot. So I'm going to share with you another photo. This would be the kind of cyberbullying that would be that we could usually see. Okay, first of all, it's definitely abuse, and then humiliation is another
Mm,
thing that a lot of
mm,
people are experiencing, where
mm,
they are called names, or they are humiliated, in front of people. And then there are threats as well. Sometimes, like, don't do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna expose you, I'm gonna do this. So all those things, those are like words that well, according to us, like, why are you so afraid about words? Like, people just type it online or something like that. But that actually could be very disturbing to a lot of them. And then there's
mm,
like anxiety and then disrespect. And there's like well, sometimes like attacking one another. It's like fighting online or something like that. And
mm.
it's not even like a DM or a private message. It's like they actually put it on the wall.
Oh,
I mean,
yes,
that yeah, it's not only for teenagers. Sometimes adults do that too, right? And then there's
exactly.
like intimidation, yeah, and then violence, and then discredit and harassment. And well, certain another slide that I want to show you is this. It's like, these are examples of things that a teenager is sometimes exposed to. Like,
Mm,
they're being called a loser, a weirdo,
mm,
a freak,
mm,
hey, you have no life, or like, you wanna be, kind of thing.
mm, mm,
Weak, ugly, geek, nerd, fake, lame, boring,
mm,
fat,
mm,
easy, or loser, or something like loner. All this kind of thing actually would be very hurtful for them to hear. And
mm.
then at the same time, if it's typed out, especially on somebody's wall, I know that you could erase it, but it's like, well,
Hey
it's
there.
there for a certain period
Mhm,
of time. And it's like,
mhm,
even though after you erase it, you might
mhm.
actually think in your heart, how many people actually have read that about me?
Exactly, exactly,
Yeah. So yeah, it's
exactly.
like very disturbing for them to be reminded of how many people actually knew that another person called me a weirdo, or like call me stupid, or call me a
Mm,
freak, kind of
mm,
thing. Because
mm,
yes, I know, like, I erased it on time, but before I knew that somebody actually went on my wall and said that about me, probably well, if I have like 200 followers, like 1,000 followers, probably 200 or 300 people might have
already
already
read.
read it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Yeah, so something like that. Okay, yeah,
mm-hmm. Mm,
yeah,
yeah, I remember talking to this. Actually, I'm getting interested in the movie. As Fitri said, that the disturbing content open up a whole lot of discussion we did not normally talk about. Actually, this is the problem with us. We are limiting our conversation topic. And that is what, and we limit it in our with our own experience, whereas our
yeah,
children now experience totally different thing. you know
yeah,
so if we we should change this culture. There is no normally talk about, we talk about everything. Because nowadays children need more of and more of our guidance, but we are way back behind them. you know so some of the student now, even the teenagers, they often say that, why you don't talk to your mother? She will not understand. She will not
mm,
you know then why do you talk to me? Because you understand. You know what my secret is? I don't understand. Actually, I don't
yeah,
understand. I am way behind them also, but the secret is to
yeah,
listen attentively. you know
exactly.
you
Yeah,
don't just turn yourself into, hey, I'm the parents, I know all. You don't know
yeah,
all. The children now know more because of the exposure with the internet. They know more. you know so but they are confused on how to handle the
mm,
information they got from the internet. I remember talking to
yeah,
the children saying that, exactly what you said. I said, when you bullied someone verbally,
mm,
verbally, when you say that in front of maybe two, three people, right?
mm,
So later
mm,
on, when you apologize, you can do the same thing with the same people, right? Two, three children who witnessed when you bullied this child, you apologize in
yeah,
front of them. case closed,
Yeah.
right? But if you
Mm-hmm.
go online, as you said, you are saying something that you don't really mean it. You're just playing around, you know
Yeah.
but when you say that, as you would say, because most of the children now, they have many followers on their Instagram,
That's right.
rarely I found children with maybe 20, 30. No, they have thousands, they
Yeah.
have thousands of followers. So I told them also, once you post there, you know and it stays for maybe 1 hour, then
Mm-hmm.
you rethink about it. Oh, no, 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 I'm not supposed to say this about my friend. You take it down. In that 1 hour, among that
Mm-hmm.
1000 followers of yours, there'll be
Yeah.
200, and you don't even know who is the 200 people that saw, that see the status. So there is no way you can reverse what you do. So that's why you need to really think to when you put things out there, on the internet, but also to be very wise in choosing what you see. But we cannot rely on the children wisdom. They're children,
Mm.
they're
Yeah.
teenagers,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Well, one thing that I need to remind you also, there is something called capture, right? So it's like, yeah, right now, even
Mhm.
yeah, people actually think that, oh, after I say that, after I post that online, I can actually erase that. Yes, if you have nobody captured it on time, right? But
Mhm.
a lot of people, when they see something, oh, this is juicy, I'm just gonna spread it around.
Exactly,
They just
exactly,
capture.
exactly,
It's gonna
exactly.
stay there of
And
life, even when,
our
yeah,
thumb is very fast in sharing, pop, 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 pop,
yeah,
you know
for sure,
yeah,
for
without
sure. It's like,
checking or thinking about what it will do to other people. We just click,
yeah,
you know
yes,
um, you know
yes.
so yes, it is true. So rather than in my opinion, yeah, because you cannot protect your children all the time by, okay, you don't go to Instagram, you don't go to Facebook, no, you don't go, no, you cannot do that all the time. You cannot put the children in the bubble. you know
Yeah,
what you can do is to have a good relationship with your teenager. We are talking teenager, but
yeah.
nowadays, not only teenagers, even the children, you know also exposed and at risk of this cyberbullying. So you need to have a very good relationship with your children. Why? So that they will be very easy for them to open up, to tell you what is happening, you know
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
to
yeah. I'm
to
gonna share a quote
mm,
with to continue what you were saying just now. Okay,
it is in
it
English
is
or in
not what
Bahasa?
you in English. It is not what you do for your children, but what you have taught them to do for themselves that will make them successful
Exactly.
human beings. Yeah. To
Exactly.
continue what you were saying, like when they were children, if they were to fight with their classmates or whatnot, then we can actually stand up for them and say, "Mommy is gonna talk to that little boy and make sure that that little boy don't are not
Yeah.
touch you
Let me
anymore."
let me
Okay,
talk to the mother.
so it's like,
Let me
yeah,
talk to the
so
mother.
yeah, so let me talk to the mother, or like let me just handle this for you. But up to a certain point, I think the kids will say, "Mom, stay out of it. Okay, this is my problem. I don't
Exactly.
want it to handle.
Exactly.
You are gonna embarrass me even more."
Exactly. Exactly. That's what
You
my
can
mother did.
embarrass
That's what my
me.
mother did. I went to her before one problem, and
Yeah,
what she did,
so
she called the
exactly.
girl.
So
There is one
social
interesting. There's one
media is
interesting.
very important in
I think
fighting.
I think you should. There's one interesting comment in our YouTube, yeah, because we are all going live on YouTube, right? From Ann ALC. She said that a weak or delayed developing brain function maturity made a person easy become a victim. The switch process to move out from the emotion become more difficult. Those signs of bullying are all emotion. Yeah, I agree with you, Ibu. I agree with you. There is something, because nowadays I'm learning about neuroscience, right? so uh, Joel, are you still there? I think she's having problem with her. Oh, she got kicked out from the Zoom. Okay, let's just continue while Joel is trying to get back with us to the Zoom. Well, actually, this is a very interesting uh, comment. Yeah, and I agree. I totally agree with you. That's why from adolescence, from the children is very small, we need to really take care of their brain maturity development, right? We need to do things in a correct way, start from their early childhood, you know. So that's why I think it's very important for parents to learn about the stages of development, about the development of the brain, the development of their mental, you know. Hi, welcome back. You got
Hi.
kicked out.
I know.
And suddenly I was alone.
Yeah.
No,
It's just, yeah,
I
too
was saying,
sensitive, and as this issue is so sensitive that the Zoom kicked me out.
exactly.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Because the Zoom afraid that the parents will stay out of Zoom. As I was saying, there is a comment in our YouTube channel from Anne ALC. She said that a weak or delayed developing brain function maturity made a person easy become a victim. The switch process to move out from the emotion become more difficult. Those signs of bullying are all emotion. And I was saying that I totally agree with her. That is
Mhm.
why we as parents need to understand, what stages of development our children going through, you know what are the stages of the physical development, of mental development, of brain development. It is very important for parents to learn about all of these things. So not only just doing parenting as your mother or your grandma did it. We need to learn about these things so that the children will go through the stages at the right time, you know but uh,
Yeah.
come to think of it, it is true that this person become easier target of bullying, but it
Mhm.
still not make the bullying itself justifiable.
Oh, of course.
You
Bullying
know?
is never acceptable, but it's just that it is also inevitable. Like, it's nggak bisa dihindari, right? It's like because the bullier would be outside of us, and then obviously we couldn't control what other people are doing towards us, and we cannot also anticipate what other people want to do towards us as well. So it's like that is beyond our control. But the fact is, we don't realize that how much we put ourselves up, like on there to allow people to have things to talk about
To
us,
bully us.
or yeah, to bully us for, is also one of the reason why, probably we are, sasaran empuk kind of thing.
Now you mix Bahasa with English.
Yeah,
Before
yeah, yeah. Because
you
I use
stay
also
you
my.
stay in Jakarta too long this time
Oh, okay,
because you
okay, that's
cannot
good.
travel out.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So anyway, so I was reading the comments, and
Mm,
so that's why I yeah, started to mix a little bit of that. Okay.
mm,
Anyway.
mm. Yeah. So, but it is true that we need to prepare our children. And,
Hmm.
well, I'm still fighting the bullying. I hope that one day it will come to a time where we will live in the world free of bullying. But
Hmm.
nevertheless, we need to prepare our children on how to face so-called the world, the adult world, which
Oh,
not by telling them not to do this, not to do that,
yeah.
but to give them the confidence. Is it a
Yes.
confidence for them
Yeah.
to be able to analyze the situation, to see what life is come about, and what people say, what people talk about. It will not matter too much for them because they have their own self-confidence, because they love themselves. That's, I think, the only way to counterattack bullying.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah. Well, do you want to share a little bit of story about how you were bullied before? Like, when you were younger, you thought that, you were not confident with the way you look because, even with your voice, you shared to me like what your mom said about your voice. You actually have a very beautiful voice, and you actually sing right now. But it's just like, I was surprised when when you shared with me, like when you were younger, you thought that you didn't have a good voice and you didn't want to sing because of certain things that you heard from
Well,
other people, and
I
also
was
you.
I was bullied a lot. I was bullied a
Yeah.
lot by people around me, the children, because I was so dark. My skin when I was small, I was so dark and I was so skinny. I was so skinny, and I have these small eyes. These small eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So most of them they confuse. I look like Chinese, but with dark skin. So that and so they always bully me with that. But to tell you the truth, with the children, I did not really care. So I did not
Yeah.
really even the children. One time, there's one friend of mine. She put her hand beside my hand and talked to one of our teacher, our favorite teacher actually at that time. She said, "Look, this is the one that really been treated very nicely, and this is the one that never been treated because I was dark. But at that time, I was able to say to her, well, you know what? I will not, I don't imagine myself living with my skin, but I
Mm.
always imagine myself living with my brain. So how my skin is doesn't really affect me, but how my brain is really powerful to me. So that's why I make
Mm-hmm.
sure I'm smart. But
Mm-hmm.
the thing that really affected me was what my mother used to say. May her soul rest in peace. Um,
Mm-hmm.
she used to say that I have because she was a singer. She had this very beautiful voice, a high range vocal, and she used to sing all the time, you know. So at the time, every time I sang, like I was trying to sing, you know, but actually I was not that bad because the school put me to the province level sing competition. I went through the province level. But my mother
Mm-hmm.
used to say, every time you sing, I feel so ashamed. How come? You don't know your do re mi. You sang so poorly. And that really, 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 really break me. You know, it like, oh, I cannot sing. I cannot sing. No, 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 no. I don't want to humiliate my mother. For children, it is important for us to make our parents proud. Oh, she got kicked out again. Okay, let me continue my story then. It is very important for us to make our parents proud. So at that time, I was so ashamed. I did not want to sing anymore because I did not want to make my mother's ashamed. And also with dancing. This is the worst part. She said that I danced like a stick because I was so stiff. You're back. But the singing I could go through it because now I'm a worship leader, right? And every time they
Yeah.
ask me to sing, I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So
Mm.
I go past that. I sang now, but the dancing, no, 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 you cannot never see me dancing unless I'm with children, yeah, with
Yeah.
kindergarten students, then I can dance. But without other people watching, no, 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 because I am so afraid of making because my mother was a dancer. She was a dancer. She was a singer. So she was like a total package. She was
Yeah.
very
Yeah. Yeah.
good. Okay, let me
Yeah.
read the question, yeah, so we can answer the question. So
Sure.
that is what parents should understand, yeah. What you say to your children will determine what they will become in their future. So you don't break your children now, you break them later in their life. So please,
Yeah.
please, please be careful with what you say to your children and what you say around the children, not only to, but around the children. Okay, Maya Sari said that most parents are busy with their own routine so that the children routine or the children feeling, they don't understand the children feeling so deep, so that when the children are depressed or become the victim of a bullying, they don't even realize it. It's true. It's true. True.
Yeah.
How much was a parent's contribute to the child bullying experience at home? My God, you are asking a very straightforward question, and that is what we need to really look at. You know, many parents we don't realize that we are actually bullying our own children. You know.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Well,
Mhm.
honestly, well, after you shared about that, I still remember, like, even up to this very age, right? I'm kind
Mhm.
of like ancient right now, but sometimes I feel like, when I'm in front of my mom, like, she would say things like, you sure you know this? Like, don't do this, don't do that. Well, I think in front of a lot of parents, we are still their kids, even at,
Exactly.
half a century like me. Like, I'm so ancient right now, and still sometimes my mom would say things like as if I'm so stupid. So, well, that's an older way of parenting, I guess. They don't realize that what they say would actually be hurting towards me. So, yeah, so as parent myself, I would be very, very careful in the things that I say, because sometimes I don't realize that we don't realize that we as parents will be the one ended up, hurting our kids the most. So let me
Exactly.
share with you another
Exactly.
slide here. Yeah. So it's like
Exactly.
children will listen to you after they feel listened to. A lot of
Mhm.
times, we as parents, we thought that we are listening to our kids, but we're not. We're hearing them. We're hearing them
Exactly.
shout. We're hearing them, talking and whatnot. But we're not listening from our hearts to what they need and what
Mhm.
they, are crying for or something like that. We don't take time. Like, a lot of parents are like what, just now Maya was it that said that they are too indulged in their own world. Like, they
Mhm.
feel, especially with handphones right now, smartphones and
Mhm.
everything like that, we don't
Mhm.
realize that parents are actually addicted to it as well. We don't
Mhm.
say the teenagers are addicted to it. Like,
No,
how
parents are
many
more
how
addicted. The trolls
exactly.
are more
If you
addicted.
go to yeah, if you go to the mall, right? It is in Indonesia that I see that most often. Not so much even outside. Like, parents are the one who say, "Oh, wait, wait, don't eat. Let me just take a picture of the food or something like that," and then they would actually be on their phone smiling and taking pictures, selfie all the time when they're waiting for the food. So how can you blame your kids for like being always being online when you actually do that as well, right?
Exactly.
So we don't realize that adults actually have to undergo the kind of therapy to
Mhm.
be offline, to not always check their handphones or something like that. When are you going to have time for your kids to listen to them, have a heart to heart conversation when you're always online with somebody
And
else?
and I'm sorry to say this, but the only way to protect your children from any kind of bullying, not only cyber but also the bullying that happen every in our everyday lives, is a
Yeah.
strong home.
Yeah.
You know, a strong home. That's the only way you can protect your children. A strong home means a very close relationship uh,
Yes.
within the family member, you know,
Yes.
the family members,
Yes.
from
Yeah.
the mother and the father. You know, you guys as a couple, you need also to have a warm and good relationship, because now if you don't have that, then you cannot also have a good relationship with your children. So a strong home is the only prevention of any kind of bullying outside the house, even inside the house. Um, uh, Also, Unita Tamurani said that one autistic college student just entered the classroom, and he asked a question to his lecturer. The lecturer said that your question is weird. So, and all his friends said, "You just know that he is weird." Then all of his friends laughed. Then finally, he dropped out of the college. See how
Oh.
bad bullying, labeling. Labeling is part of a bullying. You
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
wherever you do in life, it's affected other people.
yeah,
So you need to
yes.
really, 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 be careful with whatever you do, whatever you say. You might feel it like, oh, I'm just joking. You know, but the thing that
Yeah,
you consider as a joke, it might hurt the other person,
for
right?
sure. Like,
Uh,
yeah. So, one of the thing that I realized, this is very common among, say, I would say in this culture in Indonesia, which I'm not used to it. Like,
what
well,
about me?
because like sometimes I would be really offended. Like over here, when people meet one another, right? They would always talk about what is in the outward appearance, like that. Eh, gemukan ya, kurusan ya. It's
Ah,
like,
I was just about to
I
say
was like,
that.
always on that, always on that. And then they would actually pinpoint on like laughing at the
Mhm.
unchangeables in people. Like, I wouldn't say like you can't go skinny, like you can't diet or something. No, but it's that certain things in your life, which is like we call it the unchangeable. Like people would actually like to talk about that and joke about that in Asia. But in
Exactly.
yeah, in the Western world, like they don't talk about things like that. Hey, you're fat, or like, look at you, you're super skinny. Are you anorexic or something like that? I mean, that's considered as very offensive, right? But over here, it's in Asia, it seems very common to say, oh, it's like, oh, did you gain weight? Oh, did you actually lose weight or something like that? It's like the way of greeting, and it's like sometimes it became a joke. It's like I find that well, I just couldn't relate to that. I find that rude.
I was born and I was raised here and been here all my life. To me, it's also rude.
Yeah. Yeah.
To me, don't you have anything else to say other than my,
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
well,
Yeah.
I'm fat, so live with it, man. I'm fat.
Yeah. 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 Get a grip. Okay, I like to eat
Get a
and I
grip,
enjoy my
yeah.
life. So what?
Exactly, exactly. If you want to be skinny, it is fine. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Well,
uh, and also say in this world of too many people, usually those whom delayed or late are abandoned or left behind. System choose to easy way to manage quantity. Exactly. So student easily torn apart and bye study. Exactly. And you're very smart. Oh, I know who's Anne. That's why she's talking about neuroscience because he's a neuroscience practitioner. Of course, he talk about that.
oh, okay, okay.
I will introduce you to her. You will love her, not just like her. You will love her as I love her very much. It is true. It is true. That's why we are working together now. Kultur Metamorphosa is working with her, trying to more educate parents on this subject because it is very important, and this is something that most of the time we look over it, because why?
Mm.
Why these people in Indonesia, bullying is difficult to eradicate, because there is a saying that life is like a jungle. Better you put your children out there so they become very strong. Why don't we just make a new world, when we face bullying like I did, you know why we want our children to go through the same thing? Why? I don't understand, that you will say, yeah, in Bahasa we say cemen, yeah. You're such a crybaby, someone say that to you and you cry. Come on, you have to be stronger than that. It is not about the person to be stronger. It is about the other person being rude, and it is
Yeah. Yeah.
unacceptable. So you don't
It
blame
is.
the victim being weak. No, not the victim. It's the bullier that you need to take care of. It is
Yes.
rude. It
Yeah.
is unacceptable. Most of the time, like, following what you said about body shaming. It's called body shaming, right? you know Most of the time, if I post something and I was talking about totally different thing, the comment will be, you are getting bigger, yeah. My God, look at your face, so round. Come on, I was talking about something else, and you go back to my appearance.
I know.
So yeah, I mean, the only solution of this bullying problem is a strong home, because the research also shows that this bullier usually they come from a broken home. You know, they were bullied within the house most of the
Yeah,
time, or they
yeah,
were bullied somewhere else. You know, so
yeah,
the
yeah,
bullier usually also a victim of bullying
yeah,
in other
yeah.
cases. So we need to cut this cycle and stop. You know, I used to say to my students, it is stop with me. Say that. The
Mhm,
bullying
mhm.
stop with me. Meaning, if someone bullied you, you don't bully back.
Yeah.
It stop with you, you know. So the cycle should stop. And also parents, you know, because like you said, when the children come to the parents saying that they were bullied, you know, the solution would be like now, yeah, I'm having a toothache, you know. So what a common doctor do, they will give me, what I would do, I would buy analgesic, right, to stop the pain. But that is not stopping the pain. It only stop temporarily, you know. The
Yeah.
same way with parents, when your children come to you say they were bullied, you come to the school, you got angry, you talk to, no, I want to see the child, you know, the children who do this to my son, you know, I need to talk to the parents, blah 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 blah, blah. It will not stop the cycle. What you need to do is
Yes.
to work with the school to form a system, you know, a system where there will be no opportunity for bully to happen, right?
Well, I think it's like well, in a school where it is not a big setting kind of thing, it's kind of possible, especially when they have like parental meetings
Mhm.
constantly to get the parents to
Exactly.
come and whatnot. But there are certain schools I know over here that is humongous with like thousands of students. It's pretty hard to do, but I do want to emphasize on what you said just now about having a steady home, a loving home where
Mm-hmm.
the kids can actually feel pretty secure about themselves. And that is, I think, one of the foundation that we need to lay on them. Because, like, for example, right? My children are 18 and 20 right now. Like we would talk every day, even though they're not here in the same country
Mm-hmm.
as me, but we would do video call every day. And one of the things that I would say, sometimes their cousins would actually joke around with them as well if they listen to me saying it. As I always say this, oh, look at you, you're so pretty, you're so beautiful, you're mama's daughter. I said, you're so cute, you're beautiful, like they're 18 and 20 and I still tell them that they're beautiful. And one thing is like I do feel like well, obviously I think every mother think that their kids are like the most handsome or like the most beautiful, right? uh,
Yeah.
I'm pretty biased about that, but I think like I've been saying that as a compliment for them since they were really little, that I think they're pretty secure with how they are. And I think that like I'm glad, like, okay, sometimes, for this is just an example, sometimes when they have a lot of zits coming out, like they have like an outbreak, right,
Mm-hmm.
with
Mm-hmm.
a lot of pimples, like some of the kids would actually feel like, oh my goodness, what is gonna happen, like, with what zit will actually make them do not want to go to school already, right? There's jerawat or something like that.
Yes,
End of
yes.
the world. People can
Yes.
see that.
Mhm.
Something like that.
It was for
But my
me.
kids, yeah, no, like my kids, I think they're pretty secure. Like when they have a breakout or something like that, they would say, okay, I have a breakout, and then well, they would say, okay, what do I use or something like that, obviously. And then but they would, in front of their friends, they would still be comfortable with themselves and whatnot. Because like I would because I think because they're pretty secure with how they look and how they are. Like and I think that has to come from the parent,
Exactly.
like from parents, like from us, giving them that kind of assurance that no matter what, I
Exactly.
think like, you're valuable and you're beautiful. Like instead of when I remember when I was younger, I was always called short. That's
Mm,
why I'm like so obsessed with heels until I have a back pain, right? So it's like, because like I always thought like I'm the shortest amongst my cousins and a lot of the people in my family, and so I always thought that I'm pretty short. Actually, I'm average, but I always thought that I'm like the shortest, like jambol kind of thing, right? Contact
mm,
like jambol, So like,
mm.
and even my parents would laugh at me and say, you are the shortest, you're the oldest, but you're the shortest kind of thing. So it's like, hello, okay,
Yeah, actually, what matters is what the parents say about the children, because
yes,
that's a sound of reason. I think, yeah, we are the
yeah,
sound of reason for our children. Like
yes,
this is our friend Josephine. She said that one day my son told us that he got bullied from his classmates a whole day on his mini field trip, and I was surprised that one of his teacher also mocked him. When I asked that teacher why, and she did not continue. But this is also something, as I said, right?
mm,
In our culture, there is a saying that you need to be strong. You know. Oh, his answer was, we did make a joke about him, miss, but like you said, he was laughing it off, so we thought that was fine for him. Exactly, exactly. You see, uh, to stop bullying, we need to be firm about bullying. We
yeah,
need to be
yeah,
firm about bullying. We do not accept any kind of act of bullying. But that
mm,
also apply to us, because how many
yeah,
times when we are with our big families, we will
yeah,
talk about what our children did, the mistake that he did before. Maybe he wet his bed, and you say that out loud,
as
humiliating.
a joke,
Yes, exactly.
yeah,
The child might laugh. It doesn't matter what the other person respond, but you have to be firm that no bullying action is accepted.
yeah,
You have to be firm, regardless how the victim respond.
mm-hmm,
Even
mm-hmm,
though,
mm-hmm,
like, to me, when someone said, "Oh, lovely, you look bigger," I would say, "But I'm still beautiful." I don't care about that. But that still do not justify what you said.
yeah,
It doesn't make it right to say that to me. you know
yes,
it's not
for sure,
right at all. So for all of you teachers, even though the child smiling, it is not about how he respond. It is the action that you need to pay attention to. What the other children
yeah,
say, what the other
yeah,
people say, that is what you need to put attention to not what the reaction. This has to be very firm, in my opinion. In my
yeah,
house, it is unacceptable at all. You don't
mm,
you
mm.
don't you don't bully other people. You don't bully. If you cannot help, then you know close your mouth. Do not talk. you
Yeah,
know
one thing to also, I think, one very important thing also to teach our kids, or I, at least this is what I taught my students before as well. It's like, you have to have the culture to empathize one another, because like,
Exactly.
yeah. So when it is like I said, what people say and what happens around you, it's like sometimes the world is just too cruel, and you can't stop them by saying, you don't say this or I'm gonna beat you up or something like that, right? So it's like
No, no,
you
no.
can't stop them. So it's
Mhm.
like at the end of the day, I think is, if you say, for example, in a setting, in a school setting or in a classroom setting, when people are bullying a certain person, but if there is one or two kids that would actually hug them at the end, or like say, hey, don't worry, don't have to think about what they say, you're okay, kind of thing. If there's like a friend or two would empathize with them, and then actually feel for them, that will actually make a total difference. Because like
Mm-hmm.
I remembered in my school as well,
Mm-hmm.
there were like a couple of kids. Actually, we had so many people that moved to our school from another school, so like the culture is mix and matches. Like there are some kids who are pretty nasty, in the beginning, because they are so used to bullying the others in the previous school as well. But it's not acceptable as an acceptable culture in our place. But it's like when they came in the first place, there was like, oh, who cares? It's like, we always do this over there, and nobody's here to say anything. So why do you care, kind of thing, right? So, but I still remember there were a couple of older kids who are already in high school. We were like using homeschool curriculum, so it's like a big
Mm.
family. So it's like the high school kids would actually come to the younger one and say, "Don't worry, you don't have to care about what people say." So these big brothers and sisters would come and give them a hug, or like and say, "Don't worry," something like that would calm them down. Actually, will make them happy again. So it's like if we have kids, I understand that it's very hard for us to control what's happening out there. But why don't we teach our kids to be kind to others and to empathize and be that helping hand, or like be that hugger, and tell people, that we are here, like don't worry, something like that. Because
Mm.
like I think as much as we wanna cut that, and we say that it's not to be condoned,
Mm.
we want that not to happen at all. We can't control that. Yeah.
It is a last
Okay.
last comment, yeah, because it's already
Yep.
9 o'clock. We only 1 hour.
Okay.
In Batavi culture,
Yes.
talk easy with body shaming is a fun family talk. Yes. Loving communication, also doing with kind of teasing on to another. Some culture not agree with this bullying talk. What do you think? Well, actually, not only Batavi. I'm from Java, and they do that to me a lot. My uncle, they do that to me. What
Chinese too.
what do I think? It's still unacceptable. I mean, culture, if it's not good, then we need to change the culture. It doesn't mean that I have
Yeah.
to follow a culture that is not good. As I'm still affirming with what I said before, that we need to be, yes, we need to be firm. We need to be firm in in stopping bullying. In stopping bullying. I know right now bullying is still going on. That's why a person who hugged you is very important. But as an educator, as parents, you need to use to speak up. When you see bullying happen in front of you, you need to stop it. Don't be a bystander. Don't be a
Yeah.
bystander. Don't be just and what worse is laughing with them. you know
Yes.
when you
Yeah.
see a bullying happening, even online, when you see someone body shaming someone, you don't just look at it and move on. No, you say something about it, to make the person know that it is unacceptable behavior. We cannot just going like this all the time. We need to cut the cycle.
Yeah. Hmm.
you know
Yeah.
you know yes.
It's
Yes.
a very productive 1 hour of talk. I know if we go on and on, we will actually be, finishing up at 12 o'clock at night. But
Exactly.
like I said, next week we are going to come back online again,
Yes.
and
Yes.
this time we are going to be talking even deeper.
I want to I
Uh,
want to say to my best friend, welcome back. You've been gone too long.
yeah, it's like it's been a while. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, we're both busy, but I think it's good to be starting out with this topic. And then next week, I want to share with all of you how bullying can actually affect that much, as some kids are actually starting to cut themselves, and hurt
Mm,
themselves in a lot of
mm,
ways. And
mm.
so it's like, yeah, and parents don't know. A lot of
Yes.
parents do not know that they're
Mm,
actually going into that kind of
mm,
extent.
mm.
So yeah.
Well, I
So
have I
yeah.
have I have put my number there. 857-808-6669. If you have topic that you want us to talk about, you are welcome to text me to WhatsApp me, more appropriately, WhatsApp me on that number and let us know what are the topics that interest you or what you need to know about. We will share our experience. So we are not expert. We are two mothers, with grown-up children. So we have some experiences. We also educators. So we face different kind of children, you know, through our time. So that's what we are trying to share. And this is not like the like the best concept, because as I always say, parenting is a culture. So the cultures
Mm.
is depend on your family's values, you know
Yeah.
so we cannot tell you what to do. We can only share you
Mhm.
our experiences, and you take what is
Mhm.
good for your family, and you talk about it, you discuss about it, and you form your own parenting culture. Thank you very much. So, to close our hour today, that what matters is to create a strong home, right? Is to
Yeah.
create a strong home, a home where children feel safe, where not only the children, where all the members feel safe within the home, that they can express themselves freely, without afraid of being left alone, that all of the members support each other and understand that we are not perfect. There's last word from you, Joel, before we close our program.
Yeah, I think I've really enjoyed talking about this topic because it's very close to my heart. And like I said, please do contact Lovely if you have anything that we would like to talk about. Like I said, we are not experts, but we're just sharing our own
Mm-hmm.
experiences and our
Mm-hmm.
thoughts. And so the last words from me is like what Lovely has said. I do believe that we should have secure home that our kids would come back to and feel pretty secured about and love. They really feel the love from us and they
Mm-hmm.
are being listened to.
Mm-hmm.
And the second
Being
point is that you
appreciated.
have, yeah, we appreciate and we have to teach them how to empathize. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's
Well,
it.
the only
Yeah.
way to teach them to empathize is being empathetic also by ourselves, right?
As yeah, yeah. Set an
So,
example.
exactly. So, thank you very much for joining us. On behalf of myself and us, I would like to apologize if there is something that we said or there is an opinion that make you uncomfortable. We don't
Yeah.
have any intention of doing so. We're just sharing our thought, our experiences. We hope that it will benefit you today and in the future. That you will be able to see your children more lovingly and to create a strong home, and that at the end we will create a strong family and then a strong nation altogether. Thank you very
Yeah.
much. Join us again next week at the same time. You skip everything, right? So that at 8 p.m. you can join us and we can discuss more about parenting issues. Thank you, Joel. I'll see you again
Okay,
next
see
week.
you guys again. Yeah, in Parenting Life.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye, everyone.